All right, everybody has made the change to the Unit 12. Remember, put a space here for your name, because when you turn this in for your points, kids often forget, and I have no idea who to give the points to, and then they go to nobody. So put your name. All right. Let's take a look at number 1, solve for x. Let's look at where the x is at. Where is the x at? The base, the exponent, or part of a log? Exponent. How do we solve for x's when they're in the exponent?
Drop the log. Take the ln of both sides.
Take the log or ln of both sides. He's right. So what are we going to try to isolate here? This right here? All right, so if I'm isolating that piece, what am I going to do first? Divide or add? Add the 7. Do that now. And after you add the 7, you're going to do what? Thank you. Divide by 4. All right, divide both sides by 4. And that gives us what? E to the x minus 3 equals 5. Now, when we can't get them to the same base is when we cannot get this to the same base. So we take specifically not just log, but log base e, right? Because this is e, so I do log base e. I could do log of both sides. It's going to be a little more work. Ln of e to the x minus 3 equals ln of 5. Why am I using ln? Because ln is log base e. All right, what happens to the exponent? It moves to the front. That's the whole reason we do this. X minus 3 times ln of e equals ln of 5. Do you guys remember doing this last year, taking the log of both sides? No? Not much. What, Nick, what are you doing? But why is your back to the screen? All right. What is ln of e? 1. Log base 5 of 5, log base 10 of 10, log base 7 of 7. Log base e of e are all 1. So I have x minus 3 equals ln of 5. How do I solve this? Add the 3. And when I add the 3, can I do 5 plus 3 is 8? No. How do I plug this in the calculator? Good. ln 5, close your parentheses, plus 3, or equal sign plus 3. Go ahead and do that now. And then start the next one and see how you do. All right, what do we get? X equals 4 point what? 4.609. Let's do 3 decimal places. Yes? Okay. Anybody not get that or need help plugging it in? Okay, number 2. Is number 2 like number 1? Yes or no? Yes. So is there anything to isolate, or has this already been isolated? It's already isolated. So I take ln of both sides or log of both sides? Log, because log base 10 is already programmed in the calculator. So log base 10, I don't write, of 7 raised to the 2x minus 1 equals log of 835. And I didn't say the bases because they are automatically base 10. What happens with this power? And that's, again, the whole reason we take the log of both sides is to do that thing right there and get the variable out of the exponent. Okay, how are we going to solve this? Louder? Divide by log of 7. Now when I divide by log 7, 2 questions for you. Can I cross out the logs and do 835 divide by 7? No. If these two numbers were reducible, can I reduce? No, when you have two separate logs in a problem, you treat them separate. All right, so plug that in your calculator. Don't forget to close your parentheses. All right, did you get 3.457216012? All right, I'm not going to write that all down, 57 dot dot dot. I do not clear it from my calculator, but I do not want to write it all down. What are my next two steps in order? Add the 1 and then divide by 2. I'm going to have you guys go ahead and do that now. All right, anybody have it once you plugged it in? What do we get? 2.229. Good job. Okay, questions on numbers 1 or 2? Okay, number 3. Is number 3 similar to 1 and 2 as far as where the x is placed? No. So I'm not going to take the log of both sides. I'm either going to, is there a log in the problem? I either drop the log or wrap around. What kind of problem is this? Drop the log or wrap around? Why is it not drop the log? Because there's not what on this side? If there were one log on each side with the same base, would I drop the log? Yes. Since there's not wrap around, before I do the wrap around, what do I have to do first? The 4 as an exponent. Log base x. Can anybody calculate 9 to the 4th power?
6,561.
Thank you. 6,561, and then equals the 5 is still 5. Before I go any further, any questions on just that one step? Or how Austin got the 6,561? Okay, so you guys told me wrap around, so what do I end up writing? What to what power? X to the 5th power equals 6,561. Now I'm still solving for x, and it still is important to recognize where the x is placed. Is it a base or is it an exponent? So what do I do when it's the base? And it's something like this. What was that? Never mind. Anyone? Raise both sides to the reciprocal. Is multiplying the same as raising? Can you just 5th root it? Yes. His question was, can I just 5th root? Yes. Is the 5th root the same as raising to the 1/5? Yeah. Yes. The only thing with 5th rooting it is if you don't know how to plug it in your calculator, you're going to struggle. So if you don't know how to plug 5th root in, do you know how to raise to the 1/5 power? That you probably know how to do. But if you want to show your work doing 5th root, then that's perfectly fine. All right, so do 6,561 raised to the 1/5 power. 5.799.
Or just 5.800.
5.810.
00.
Okay. Okay, questions? Show you how to plug it in? Yeah. All right, so I would type in the 6,561, 6,561. My exponent key is right here. Who asked me to do this on here? Do you have this kind of calculator?
No, but I can see it.
Is it, do you have a key like it?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the exponent key, and then raised to the 1/5. I use the fraction key. If you use your division key, you may have to use parentheses. 1 fraction 5 equals. Got it? Does anybody not know where their exponent key is or their fraction key? Because I can't answer this on test day. All right. Next one. I'm hoping this one is screaming at you to do something because I've emphasized it so much during the homework and review. Leonard, you're saying yes. Use substitution. Do you guys see it? Recognize it on the test. What am I going to let u equal? 3 to the x. So I have 7 what? 7u plus equals 99. 7u plus 4u equals 99. Yes or no? All right. Can anybody help me out further? What do we get here? 11u equals 99. What do I do next? Divide by 11. What was that? So u equals 9. There's nothing left to do, so I have to do what with the u? Plug it back in. Now that you see this, is it pretty easy?
Yeah.
You guys can do it in your head. What is x? 2. He was just making sure you guys are paying attention. All right, do you guys agree that 9 is equivalent to 3 squared, therefore x equals 2?
Yes.
All right, now that we've done a few of these, do they seem still as intimidating, or do you think, okay, I can handle this now? Can handle it? They're still intimidating?
Use when, how to know when to use like the wraparound, when to use the log, or
So you want to get the practice then as noticing we do the wraparound when there's a log on one side. We take the log of both sides when the variable's in your exponent. And we haven't had one yet, but if you had something like this, we had something kind of like it. When you have something like this, what do you do to both sides? Raise to the 3/2. So noticing where your x is. It's a base, it's an exponent, or it's part of a log. All right, next one. Where's the x? A base, an exponent, or part of a log? Part of a log. All right, so let's go ahead and any suggestions? This was Wednesday's lesson last week when I did video notes with you guys. Any suggestions on what to do here? I did one like this in the notes. Okay, I'm going to cover this guy right here. If it was like this right there, could I drop the log?
Yeah.
If that was an equal sign and I have that equals that, I could drop the log because there's one log on each side and they both have the same base. Once I throw that one minus in there, can I still drop the log? No. And I told you in the notes, you have a choice. You could change this to a log base 18. What would that be? Log base 18 of, do you agree that's equivalent to 1? And I didn't show you that way. I talked about there being other ways. That is the other way. Or you could do what here? Add this to the side, condense, and then it'll look like number 3. Is that what you guys want to do? That's the way I showed you in notes. All right, so we add this to the other side. All right, add it to the other side, log base 18 of x plus 9. And that gives me log base 18 x plus 6 plus log base 18 of x plus 9 equals what? 1. All right, I'm going to let you guys finish this. What are you going to do? Or at least I'm going to give you a head start. What are you going to do on the left-hand side? Condense it. You're going right, and she said condense it with multiplication. So are you going to eventually FOIL these two?
Yeah.
Yes.
And after you condense it, what kind of problem is it going to be? Drop the log or wrap around? Wrap around because there's no longer a log on the other side. All right, go ahead and try it. All right, compare your answers with the person sitting next to you. Can any of you guys tell me what you got when you FOILed that? X squared plus 15x plus what? 64 equals, sorry, equals 1. And then you did the what? The wraparound. 18 to what power?
1.
To the 1 equals x squared plus 15x plus 54. And how do I solve this? Subtract the 18. 0 equals x squared plus 15x plus what? Plus 36. And then double bubble. Any of you guys do it already?
Yeah.
What did you get? 12 and 3. What does x equal? Now, the heck? Negative 12, negative 3. A mistake kids make, do you remember when we said that the 3 things that B could not be, and then there was something that this could not be either? Do you remember that? Vaguely. It can't be negative. This piece right here cannot be negative. So kids will say no solution because they're both negative. But be careful. Let's test the negative 12. What's negative 12 plus 6? Is that allowed? Cross it out. You don't even have to check the second one. You don't and I don't mean that second one. I mean you don't have to check it over here, because if it's negative in 1, you cross it out. Try the negative 3. What's negative 3 plus 6? Is that allowed? Now we have to test the second one. What's negative 3 plus 9? Is that allowed? So is negative 3 a possible answer? Yes. So don't just assume, oh, it's negative, it's not going to work. Plug it in the x and see if this piece comes out to be positive or negative. Did you guys do it on the quiz? Okay, it's okay. And I noticed that. The comment was we didn't do it on the quiz. And I noticed as I walked around, but at that point I hadn't done a whole lot of talking about it, so I was going to be very nice with those points. All right. Okay. Next one. Is this more like 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? Once we've done some moving around, you would say it's more like number 5. All right. I'm going to do 2 things at one time. What am I going to do with this 2? And then I'm going to condense it by multiplication or fraction. Okay, log base 3 of x squared over x plus 6 equals 1. Where's Lauren at? Was this kind of like your homework question that you had? Okay. All right, so what do? Drop the log or wrap around? Why is it wrap around and not drop the log? There's only one log. There's not a log on each side. 3 to the first power equals x squared over x plus 6. And how do I solve this? Good job. Multiply both sides by x plus 6.
So why did you put it as a fraction?
Can anybody answer that? Well, his question was, why did this become a fraction? Because of the subtraction sign. Good job. Addition would become multiplication. Subtraction becomes division. All right. 3x plus 18 equals x squared. What are you guys going to do next? Get equal to 0 and solve? All right, what'd you guys get?
Negative 6.
Thank you. Negative 6 and plus 3. So what 2 values does x equal? All right. Now, when I go in to plug it in, I'm going to start here first. It's just x. If it's just x, can it be negative?
No.
So can I automatically cross out the negative 3? All right. Log base 3 of 6 I can do. And then over here, what's 6 plus 6? So log base 3 of 12. Is that allowed? Yes, so x equals 6 is our only solution. The -3 is an extraneous solution. All right, questions before I move on? Again, we won't finish today. We'll finish it tomorrow before the test. Moving on to the back side. Okay, this one is very similar to the one on the quiz, and I told you guys then you need to know it for the test. Does anybody recognize what kind of problem it is? Okay, it's going to be u substitution. U equals what? 3 to the, oh, there's 2x and an x. Which one do we use?
2x.
3 to the x, and we change this to 3 to the x what? That's what's going to allow us to FOIL it later. Do you guys agree that 3 to the x squared is not 3x squared, it's 3 to the 2x? Yes or no? Minus 30 times 3 to the x plus 81 equals 0. Thank you. And did I say plus as well? I don't know what I said. I said minus. All right, so this becomes u or u squared? Minus, now I don't write the multiplication symbol anymore, and a lot of kids can mess that up on the test or the quiz. It's 30u right there. I don't put 30 times u. And then plus 81 equals 0. Is that something your brain can easily process? Yep. Go ahead and do it now. And it does factor. I know you're looking at it like, oh, 9 and 9 doesn't work. What else goes into 81 besides 9 and 9?
Oh.
81 and 1.
27.
Not 8. Well, 81 and 1 works to go in, but it doesn't work for 30. What is it? 27 and 3 plus plus or minus minus? So what two values does u equal? 27 and 3. And if you give me them the test, why would I have to mark it wrong? We didn't plug it back in. U, oh nope, not u. 3 to the x. 3 to the x equals 27, and 3 to the x equals 3. Do I have to take the log of both sides on this one? No. Can I get them to the same base? I only have to take the log of both sides if I cannot get them to the same base. This is 3 to the x equals 3 to the, and this is 3 to the x equals 3 to the first. So what two values does x equal? 3 and 1. Questions?
Since they're both positive, we don't have to plug them back in.
Correct, and there's no logs, so you don't have to worry about it. But yeah, if there were logs, you should still check it just in case it did come out to be a negative. All right, maybe time for one more, and then we'll finish after. All right, can anybody see, first off, where are the variables? Exponents, and this is where we take log of both sides, but I'm not going to on this problem. Why not? Because I can get them to the same base. If I can get them to the same base, do I have to take the log of both sides? No, that's only the tool we use if we cannot. What's the same base going to be? 2. So it's 4 is 2 to what power? And then it's all raised to the x squared minus 2x plus 3 equals 1/2 is 2 to what power? And then this is raised to the 8. What do we do? Oh, sorry, x minus 8. What do we do with the power to a power? Multiply. So I'm going to do -2 times all of this. What's the math word I'm looking for?
Distribute.
Distribute. And same thing with the -1. Two raised to the 2x squared minus 4x plus 6 equals 2 to what power? Plus 8? All right. At this point, can I drop the bases? Why can I drop the bases? There's exactly one on each side, and they are the same. Good job. 2x squared minus 4x plus 6 equals -x plus 8. All right. Do we get everything over to the other side? Add your x and subtract your 8, and then factor and solve. 2x squared, what do we get? Minus 3x minus equals 0, double bubble. I know for sure there's going to be a 2x and a 1x. 2x plus 1 and x minus 1? 2. Positive 1, negative 4, it gives us a negative 3 in the middle. What two values do I end up with for x once I solve each one? Negative 1/2 and 2. Okay, questions?
So do we have to check negative 1/2?
You don't, you check them when there's logs.
Oh, okay.
And you don't have to check them on this type of problem. What was that?
Do number 9.
Do number 9. This one was also another one I did in the notes because I remember saying this one's on the test. You need to know it. What am I, since this 2 has thrown me off, I can't drop the logs. What do I do with this guy?
Add that one to this side.
And I'm going to bring the power up at the same time. ln of e to the 4th over the 4th root of 5, and I'm going to put parentheses here, plus ln x equals 2. Can you guys see what I did? Brought the 4th up, added this, and it's going to eventually be a drop the log or a wraparound. Why is it going to be a wraparound eventually?
We're gonna only have one log.
We're going to only have one log eventually. I'm going to condense this using multiplication or division.
Oh, no,
Multiplication.
And it's going to be e to the 4th over what? Once I distribute top and bottom. Is it just 5? Do you guys see how that worked? E to the 4th. 4th root of 5 to the 4th is just 5. And then I do wrap around. What's the base here? Don't say 10 that I don't see.
it's E.
So it's e squared equals e to the 4th x over 5. The bell's going to ring, and I'm just going to finish it off. What do I multiply both sides by? Where did I get e squared from? You guys told me a second ago, or at least I heard Austin say it's going to be wraparound because we're going to end up with only one log. So e squared equals that. Sorry for going too fast. Yes?
Where did the negative L on X go?
I added it to the other side. All right, can I finish? You guys ready for me to finish? All right, multiply both sides by 5. After that, what are you going to divide by? What are you going to divide by? 5e squared equals e to the 4th x. Help me out, guys. What do we divide by? E to the 4th. And when I do that, can you... Oh, I messed up somewhere. That's not e to the x. What is it? E. Thank you. What do you do with your exponents? Add or subtract? 5, is it going to be at the top or the bottom if there's more at the bottom? So 5 over what? E squared. Good job. Yes. Yes. If you want, you can plug in your calculator. I'd rather you not, but you can. 5 divided by e squared and get a decimal. I will go over that one again tomorrow if I went too fast. You guys can leave the calculators on the desk. My next period will use them.